testosterone.
Men.
Meat planets.
Naked men.
Meat.
I'm live, man. We live, baby.
The fourth wall.
Ooh, we here.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's fucking go.
Let's go. Welcome to the AEW Dynamite recap, y'all. Chat, how's it going?
What up, chat? What up, Caesar? What up, Nick?
Know, things. Yeah.
Yo, read my nickname. Darby Allin just hit level 65 on World at War.
65?
Hey, he unlocked the flamethrower.
Let's fucking go. Darby, I need you to help me unlock this door. Stop hoarding your fucking coins. Hey, man.
All the points.
How did y'all enjoy AEW Dynamite tonight, my friends? What up? What did y'all think?
USA. This is the American dad dropping off his son to school at the very end. I loved it.
With the
that was actually great. That was fucking great.
We were missing Real American on that point. Like, Darby needs to steal that.
That's too American. Too American. I don't like the implications.
That's going to be the thing, though, where he takes the song and Hogan's going to be like, yeah, brother, I was making sure I was with Darby every step of the way when I was the one that dropped him off at that segment.
Yeah, the flamethrower was my idea, actually.
It was a gift from Randy. And
the jacket from my closet.
We might as well talk about that segment straight up.
That was glorious.
God, where do you even start on that?
Flamethrowers.
The match that fucking Bryan the sick maniac. I have no doubt in my mind that this was Bryan Danielson's sick idea. Hey, for my birthday, I'd like to wrestle Satnum Singh. I've been seeing him walk around the halls for the past few weeks, and I just keep thinking, man, I want to fucking wrestle that guy.
I get a good match out of him.
And unfortunately, he got the best possible match you can get out of Satnum Singh, but Satnum can't do a fucking thing. Like, he can't do shit. It's not, I mean, I don't know if it's like a size thing, but he just can't do shit.
Dude, when he was on his knees, he was still taller than Bryan.
Yeah.
That's the funny part.
Dude, like when he's outside the ring, he's literally as tall as the top rope.
Well, they said 1 in a billion and they meant it, but I mean, like,
literally
watching him move,
tallest men in the world.
Just watching him move around was like sad.
Unfortunate.
I've always liked the idea when they signed Satnum that they wanted a big old giant, their own freak of nature, whatever, that's what the fuck they refer to it as.
At the time, they needed that too, because remember when they signed Satnum Singh, they really did not have a whole ton of those big guys. They had Hager, they had Wardlow, and that was about it. And they just signed Brian Cage, I think.
Paul White.
But he can't do shit. He can't sell. He can't bump. Well, he shouldn't be bumping. He's a big old boy. But he can't sell. Like, he was supposed to, like, fall into the exposed turnbuckle, like, because that was supposed to make him look even stronger before Bryan's second finisher. But he kind of slowly scooted into the corner and just walked forward to get hit again.
Just smacked into it.
I love
goddamn.
They described him with the frying pans for hands.
That was the coolest stuff was Bryan taking shots and laying them in out of frustration. Splat. I was like, those kicks are just stiff.
Like the facial that sounded rough. The fake that Satnam Singh like brought out though to Danielson, like he looked terrifying. Like, my goodness, I would hate to be Danielson in that moment.
I'm telling you, because Bryan all these years he loves to talk about how he likes to bully people that are bigger than him. The guy's got a fucking Napoleon complex. He sees Satnum out there, and they're trying to work something and make it work, and some things aren't working. So you just know Bryan is like laying fucking kicks and like, all right, maybe I gotta wake this giant up. And you can even see Satnum wins, like, oh fuck, what the fuck? But ultimately I think Bryan did the best that he could, and it ended fast enough. When they started the match all at 650 or whatever, 653, I was like, oh no, like they're giving this overtime. Like this match doesn't need 20 minutes. But
and then we had the blowing of the table spot of sorts.
That's right.
Broke prematurely, but you know what? That happens. It's normal. One
Sanjay.
out of every 10 tables.
Sanjay, fucking, what did he do? Did he slap the table? Like, what was that? I turned
he was
around.
Too rough with like taking all the stuff off of it, and then like I think he smacked the side of it, which I think unlatched everything.
I turned around for 2 minutes, and the table was gone. I heard the collapse of it, and I heard people chanting, "You fucked up," and I was like, "Oh goddamn."
One job, Satnum.
But I did see Bryan pivot immediately, like, "Oh well, fuck it, I'm gonna kick the shit out of you, Satnum." What the fuck did I do? But yeah, it was fine. What did you guys think?
America.
Exactly. That was such a great match for Satnam Singh because again, I think Danielson works great with those much bigger guys, and just again, a lot of the visuals I think really helped Satnam Singh out and made him look like the monster he should have been booked as, because you had him on one knee being as tall as Bryan Danielson. You had him with one punch destroying an entire guitar. Like there was a lot of cool stuff that made Satnam Singh look great. And again, that face of pure rage, I wish we had a picture of that. We'll probably pull one up at some point, but again, there was a lot of moments there that made Satnam Singh look like the giant that he should have been. And just like on the bottom, it felt like a D&D crazy storyline. You had a dragon and a giant duking it out. That was great stuff.
Now, I don't, do you all expect that we'll see Satnam again soon?
No. At the NRK UK match, maybe.
No. I'm actually okay. I'm actually okay with not seeing it.
No, I'm not like praying for it at all. I'm not saying like that's what I would see him and that's it. Done.
I mean, look at how long it's taken us to see him to begin with from the last time he was on TV, plus Jeff Jarrett, plus Jay Lethal, plus Sonjay Dutt.
Thank God, no Karen.
I marked out though for the wee woo wee woo.
Yeah, woo.
It made me realize how long it's been since we've heard Jeff Jarrett's theme on AEW TV. I don't like that it's been this long.
Spotify yet?
We need him back on AEW TV. I don't know, like, where did we go wrong? We need Jeff Jarrett back.
I know. I gotta say, AEW is the first time I actually genuinely appreciated all things Jeff Jarrett. Like this is the first time I didn't care in WCW. I didn't care in WWF. I didn't care in TNA all that much. But now with Jeff Jarrett in AEW, that's where I finally appreciate him.
It was just watching him be this heel Jarrett bringing this old school Memphis shit into this AEW territory where everybody's moving at 63 miles an hour. It's really cool. And his matches didn't stink. They worked around his weaknesses, and it was great. It was always great. So I do miss Jeff Jarrett on AEW TV. That being said, I don't know where he even fits right now. So,
which it's crazy the fact that we're saying in 2024 that we miss Jeff Jarrett. Like, what is this here?
Bring him back.
It's going down.
Nah, but I guess we did have the post match.
So much stuff happened.
Bryan got his ass beat, jumped at the end of the match. I imagine that means that Satnum, Singh, and Planet Jarrett did their job because they did get paid. They got paid and they left, and then
EVP's established a bounty for anyone that can hurt Bryan Danielson, and for whatever reason, the bounty hunter Brian Keith didn't go to collect that. What's up with that?
I wish they would have opened. I missed the first few minutes of the show, so I don't know, but I wish they would have done the classic. We're putting $10,000 on the line.
Oh yeah,
10,000 wing wangs right in this little envelope.
It was a Harley race. Pulling the old suitcase out, putting it on the table. I'm putting out $10,000 for the person who brings me the head of Ric Flair.
Brings Danielson's head.
No, man. When it comes to bounties in pro wrestling, I actually like. That's one of my favorite tropes. I love when a heel in a suit as a world champion decides that I am not dealing with this asshole. This is not my deal. I'm too big for this. I've got so much money. I'll pay somebody else to do it for me. I think we need to put emphasis on things like that. So I wish they had really established an actual bounty before just announcing Bryan versus Satnum Singh and have me knowing that was going to be the match for 3 days and then telling me that it was because of a bounty. I was like, no, that is Bryan's birthday gift. You fucking he asked
yes.
For a little bit.
Oh, that should have been how they promoted it. Is just like, hey, Bryan, we are EVPs and we love you. We take care of you. So here's a birthday present. Satnum Singh.
Bam.
But that was pretty. That Darby, as we talked about, the DLE comes out. Okada's coin drop, and then Bryan in the ring. I don't know why that pulled something out of me that I didn't think. Like, I knew they'd be in the match together, Anarchy in the arena, but when seeing Bryan in the middle of the ring and then Okada's coin drop, it had me like, it's I want to see them in the ring again now.
Next match.
Now.
Forbidden Door.
Can we take a moment too? When the Bucks came out, we got a POV of the Cody Vader.
That's true. That was new. I like that. I actually thought it was really funny too. They were just like, I'm taking my time. We'll get there when we get there. We know Bryan is dying. We want a piece of that. But fun moment where Tony Khan pulls up to the
That was
arena.
great.
I didn't know what to expect, but I did get a big old laugh out of Tony popping up. I brought Darby to the arena. I provided him with a gun. I do have a valid driver's license.
Ammunition.
Tony Khan supplying one side of a war.
Oh
Dance
no!
like puppets. Dance.
Tony Biden.
Billionaires.
No.
Am I right?
Oh no!
Stream. Rest in peace.
Free AEW. Anyway, the segment ended with Darby coming out to the ring with a fucking sick flamethrower. It looked like he had
a pink jacket.
It looked like he had a grenade launcher. I thought he was coming out with a grenade launcher. I thought he was gonna shoot beanbags or some shit.
I thought it was like an actual shotgun. I was like, oh my god. I thought it was
a paintball gun at first.
I always joke like he's gonna pull out the fucking firearm, and then Darby actually walks out the door with a gun. I was like, holy shit!
An actual heater.
Talk about that's how you protect AEW right there. That fucking make sure that EVPs don't come back. I did see a lot of people saying things like, "Oh, I don't want you to bring out a weapon that you can't use." And I'm like, is this a bad faith argument, or do you not know who Darby Allin is? Like, when I saw the flamethrower, the only thing I thought was that somebody's going to catch fire. I didn't.
Darby Allin asked to be set on fire.
It feels like, I mean, I didn't. It feels to me that we introduced this weapon to be used at Anarchy in the Arena.
For a
Please.
reason.
It doesn't feel, and I've seen it compared to when Drew McIntyre had a sword, and I was just like, I don't know that it compares because there's an actual possibility of someone getting set on fire in a wrestling context. It happens fairly frequently. I've never seen someone impaled with a sword or decapitated on pro wrestling TV. So, like,
hey, let me tell you about the Tournament of Death.
To the Googles we go.
I actually believed that Darby could use this flamethrower. My biggest problem was that he didn't let go of the flame. I was like, turn that shit off.
Yeah,
you're gonna blow it up. Like, it's gonna fucking melt. How do these things work? Can you just hold, like, I know when you use a lighter, you can't just hold the flame on. The fucking outside gets hot. Can't imagine.
At a certain point, too, you can also have it to where the flame goes back into the flamethrower and explodes.
You see what I mean?
Genius.
He's holding the fucking button and the flame is just going for like 5 minutes straight. And I'm looking at it and it's got little smoke spurts coming out from the fucking bottom of it.
That was getting terrifying.
I'm scared for my life. He tried to blow it out and it didn't go out. I'm like, you fucking dummy, you can't blow it out. He was holding it towards the floor. I'm like, what is going on? There should have been a fire safety class or something.
So the shot doesn't show it, but then Danielson switches the sides of the chair so he can block some of the heat.
Great fit. I thought it was a great ending to the show.
Oh, don't forget, too, Nicholas getting thrown through that table on the side of the stage and basically getting impaled by it.
He did get scratched all open. He's got splinters to deal with tonight, for sure.
For
sure.
Yeah. And when the EVPs were attacking them, they were telling all the refs and the security, no intervening, or you're fired. But the one man that can override it, Tony Khan with a driver's license.
With a valid driver's license. Yeah, let's go. I was wondering why that needed to be clarified. I was like,
because it's pro wrestling.
I guess. I mean, do pro wrestlers not have driver's licenses? Don't they drive around the country?
My thought was that, like, it was referring to the idea that, like, rich people are only, like, driven by chauffeurs and whatnot. And
that makes sense.
That was what I thought, at least.
I guess I'm not rich, and I didn't really think of it. I'm like, why wouldn't Tony Khan know how to drive? He should be rich. He should be able to drive whatever he wants. But yeah, was that
the same car that Prince Nana drove, by the way?
No way. Pull it back up.
All right, let's see.
No, Nana's was darker.
It looks like the car Christian drove more than anything because Nana had a black car.
Yeah, Nana's was dark.
Black truck in front of Christian's white truck.
Okay, yeah, that was it. So I think this is Christian's because then we look at this.
Yeah, you're right.
Exactly so.
Take a good look, and then we come back.
It's the same fucking car. Go back a second.
I analyze this, fellas.
It absolutely is the same car.
Darby was in the car while they were doing that too.
Well, Chat, what do you think? Chat, do you think this is the same car?
It doesn't break the story for it to actually be the same car because there was like a security guard sitting in it when Christian tried to steal it. They could easily have been a guy sitting there waiting and holding it down for Tony Khan. So like it wasn't Christian's car. He did try to steal it, but
Tony's car. Okay, the plot thickens because then Tony Khan needs to avenge his car almost getting stolen.
Christian, you son of a bitch, you creepy little bastard. Anyway, did you guys have anything else to say about that closing segment of AEW Dynamite tonight?
Flamethrower.
So much happened and it was glorious.
Flame on.
Honestly, we had like 3 big like sports entertainment moments throughout the show that I think really added to the intrigue for the pay-per-view. Which almost makes me feel like we should have scattered those throughout the last couple of weeks to end every show.
They also had a lot of video packages tonight.
Yeah,
a lot of packages for the matches that are coming at the pay-per-view. I'm absolutely okay with that. I don't have an issue with that. I've wanted them to do more stuff like that, so I was happy to see it. But I don't know. I didn't have an issue with tonight's Dynamite at all. Honestly, there was some fun stuff here. It felt like a go-home show multiple times.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen the reaction to it yet. I just know that I enjoyed it. I imagine I'll go online and I'll see.
John, how dare you enjoy an AEW Dynamite?
Yeah, who are you?
It's my mistake for enjoying it before going online and seeing what everybody else thinks first,
What
and
a mark
then
are you?
realizing if I enjoy it or not. So, my bad.
You have to
Damn,
look
Mark.
at how many people were in the arena to truly enjoy the show and what the ratings were.
I
Oh, yeah,
apologize.
true.
That's right. That's right. Did they
Only
show us
half
the
of the
hard
arena.
cam section? Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to enjoy this episode if I don't see the hard cam section.
Yeah,
Good storytelling, that's one thing, but not having a full hard camera section,
yeah.
not for me.
They have
Done.
great matches. You got good storytelling, but when I read those numbers on Thursday, it really dampens my enjoyment.
Yeah, I hate the episode now.
Oh, 600,000 viewers. It's not.
Oh,
That's it?
600,000, is
Gosh,
That was a shitty episode, then, wasn't it?
must have
The
sucked.
worst.
You watched it yourself. No. Yeah, man. Nick, take us to the beginning of Dynamite.
What? All right, fellas, let's bring it back around. We had Roddy and Trent Locks taking on Orange Cassidy and Will, by goodness, OSPREAY. OSPREAY. Yo, the crowd was dead through a lot of this show, but honestly, they were living for Will Ospreay, and that for me just goes to show that this dude's gonna be something for them. But yeah, so we get through. Don Callis comes out, helps out Orange Cassidy by preventing the end of Heartache. Doesn't matter, because guess what? The War Dog came on out there and stopped Orange Cassidy in his tracks. Will Ospreay gets beaten down. No, it was Will Ospreay that got beaten up. And then Orange Cassidy's the one that was in the ring taking another end of Heartache and got thrown to the other side of the ring. I don't even think Roddy connected, but they got the right angle to make it look like he did. So all is well there. Orange Cassidy got pinned on AEW Dynamite. Because when you think about it, it was either going to be Orange or Ospreay getting pinned. So I think Trent and Roddy definitely needed something going into this. Fellas, what say you on this match in total?
You go ahead, Caesar.
I'd say it was a good match to start off the pay-per-view. Oof, a few days too early. To start off the show,
Hype.
it was good. It was action-paced. It kept the story of the two different worlds going. The one thing that kind of bugs me out is seeing the Kingdom as tag champs, and they're just on the show. You know what I mean?
They should be on Ring of Honor all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
Defending those belts, and they probably are, but I'm already a big Kingdom hater, so I'm like, put them away, put them in a box. They should be anywhere else.
As someone who watches every other Ring of Honor episode, they do not defend those titles much.
No, I see the graphics coming up that say what's it called? Proving Ground. It just says Proving Ground this and Proving Ground this, but it's never like you guys said. It's never an actual defending.
I don't know.
So,
as long as they're on the damn show, I'm okay. But they're not even doing that.
it's just here's placeholders.
I thought the opener was a great match. Actually, that was one of the only matches that get the crowd engaged because of Will Ospreay. It's why I'm so confused as to why he's in this feud with Roderick Strong. What the fuck is Will Ospreay doing in a feud with Roderick Strong for the international championship? This placeholder shit. Are we doing placeholder shit with Will Ospreay and he just fucking got here? I don't. I want to imagine there's a larger story here that just hasn't been addressed yet. He's gonna get this Roderick Strong thing out of the way, and then the real story will show its face. Because I can't believe that Will Ospreay goes from coming in top guy, defeating fucking Bryan Danielson, pinning Takeshita, and then he's like, all right, challenging for a secondary title. Fucking third tier title. Almost.
Tertiary titles.
There you go. That's the fucking word.
Big word.
Hey, I had it. I just didn't have it.
And he won that gauntlet match with big names like Jay White. So
that was actually a great match. I still think back to it. That was so weird, so different. I hate it's so fucking weird. They're gonna do another one next week, and I don't have any hope that it's gonna be as good as the first one, because the first one wasn't like that on purpose. It was just we have this gauntlet. And we have great wrestlers. You guys go out there and do some shit, man. I'll figure that out.
You know what? I hope they do this gauntlet thing, and the first two guys are in, right? Before the third guy comes out, they end the match.
I need them to end the match while the third guy's on the ramp.
That is such a dick move.
The bell rings while his music is still on.
And Justin Roberts is halfway through the speech too. And making his way to the ring. Oh, it's over.
Oh,
The
never
machine
mind.
comes out, he's busy flexing, and next thing you know, the match ends.
He's like, from wherever. Ding, 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 ding.
That's
That
actually
person, though.
it's the only way I want to see this match now.
Book it. TK, send us the money.
And a driver's license.
I'm down.
So yeah, War Dog leveled out the aerial assassin outside. Orange took a very brutal end of Heartache. Brutal in the sense, I don't really think it truly connected, but hey, whatever. Each guy's respective feud boy was killing them on their.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Ospreay did the blade job.
Yeah.
Blade
did-
job.
With
He did
Ospreay
do the
being full
blade.
time with AEW, was this his first loss as a full timer?
First blade job. No. I think it was his first loss on AEW TV as a full timer. Because he has won all his other matches, and he still didn't get pinned here. But and even Orange Cassidy getting pinned on AEW TV is like not common. It's like but no, he hasn't lost. This is his first loss.
This was needed too for Trent and Roddy, because otherwise, like, you got two of the most protected wrestlers right here in AEW. So they needed something, which says a lot because Roddy's a champion and Trent in his own way is kind of like a secondary heart and soul for AEW.
Trent is one of those that has been there since day one, and he feels like AEW to the bone. So Orange Cassidy is another one.
That's where I'm going to see Trent. He's going to be like what we said as like Britt Baker. He's one of the gatekeepers. He's an original, and he definitely feels like a gatekeeper.
I'm excited. I'm interested in seeing where they're going with Trent, because I feel like a couple years ago he could have been a big heel for them, but today I'm not so sure. So
He always had that heelish attitude to him.
It felt like I think we've talked about this before, when Wheeler Yuta joined the group and Trent was injured and he finally came back, it really felt like they were going to do the story of Trent being jealous that Yuta took his spot and having that match and breaking up with the best friends, but it just never came. It never happened, and then years later he's mad at Orange Cassidy for nothing. So yeah, that's other than that, great match, great post match.
I do appreciate that Rocky Romero still wants to try to maintain good relationships for the sake of Roppongi Vice.
Their problems are not his problems.
I know I'm an associate of y'all, but hey, I stayed out of it. Oh my goodness. So yeah, do you guys have anything else to say about that match? Or
No, sir.
all right, well, moving on, we have Matthew and Nicholas with their own elite personal security. They are banning Darby Allin from the area. Cheesecake ain't there. He's not elite enough for them, I guess. Too much of a thinker hired by Tony Khan. Tony Khan's personal military units. That's probably how he got the guns.
Ooh,
I'm not talking about the ass boys.
He's rich. They just have them.
He has mercenaries. He's ready to go. That's probably how he hired Cheesecake, the security guard. But yeah, so Matthew and Nicholas have their own personal security. They are banning Darby Allin from the building. They even have a great reference to Final Destination, a movie series I appreciate, that Darby Allin got Final Destination by a bus. Loving it. Probably the Hogan bus. Sanjay brags about the Indian giant Satnam Singh destroying the American Dragon. And Sanjay wants Satnam Singh to break Bryan Danielson like a pencil. And it's a pencil that he himself had a little bit of trouble snapping along the way.
It did take a second. Sanjay's funny, but his exaggerated movements are what cost them that table tonight.
Who told him to smack the side of it?
Why was he spanking the announce table? Like, what was the point?
He's a frisky, that's why.
And like, dude, like, he was brutal with the way he like took that like top. What do you even call that like part that goes over their monitors?
That's a good cover. A cover makes more sense.
The way they like took that off, like he just yanked it too, and then started smacking the table.
Good table.
Spanked it, gave it a little touchy,
a little bit of love,
a little spanky.
Hey, I'm gonna get you later.
Let the record show, just because the table fell apart, you could still break someone through the top part.
What's with the accent?
That'll happen.
Listen, body.
The Bang Bang Gang decided, hey, let's come out. And then Death Triangle says, nope, we are going to be the ones to really come and take it to you. Can we appreciate, too, by the way, the Bang Bang Gang coming out, all 9 sets of titles. They had a title wagon that they put every single thing in. They go down to ringside, each member of the Bang Bang Gang holding one different variation of the trios tag team titles.
That was actually pretty cool to see. I like that.
I like that. And if you're going to have 9 different titles that represent the same exact championship, well, that's the way to do it. So Jay White, the Switchblade, he gives his own little promo there, and a fan in the audience is like, who wrote this shit? And
I heard that.
Everything under the sun, Pac, Puck, Pick, you name it. And we get the reunion of the Death Triangle.
Finally.
I don't know what it is about this Jay White stuff that they're doing. I love Jay White, and I think he's a great promo. No, I know he's a great promo. I don't think
there's a but.
Yeah, but I don't know what's going on here. I don't like. I didn't like what he did tonight. Kind of felt uninspired. Like he was just fucking around. Like he wasn't really putting any effort into it. Is it Buck? Is it Pac? It was funny. Like I get it that the attitude of Bullet Club Gold is like, yeah, we don't give a fuck. We're heels.
Ridiculous.
But it felt like, well, the crowd wasn't doing shit. They weren't booing. They weren't cheering. They were fucking around, trying to get themselves over. I'm pretty sure it was the Jim Cornette sign guy that was screaming out all the funny stuff, trying to get himself over.
Started heckling.
It just wasn't. It wasn't working. It wasn't working.
What was working is Phoenix has been working out. He looked tremendous in that.
Why the hell was he so jacked? Jesus Christ!
I wasn't expecting jacked Phoenix.
Phoenix. He comes. I'm excited for this match, though. I did notice no titles on the line.
What?
Yeah, they put a graphic out for the match on Sunday. I mean, if they said it on commentary, then possibly. But the graphic had no belts.
I thought they said something like they had to win some match on Saturday at Collision, like the 2 tag teams, and then there'd be officially a title match. That's what they said.
Well, that's just fucking silly. But I mean, I guess.
Yes, the gunfight at the Collision Corral is there.
I guess they're trying to say like Death Triangle can't just appear and request a title shot.
Request.
But come on, man. Like
it's gonna be a title match. It's gonna be a title match.
I get it. Sometimes I'm like, why did we go through the effort? But then I remember the kind of people they have to contend with. I'm like, okay, well,
wrestling.
It's probably better to cover your bases then.
It's gonna be a title match.
Oh, absolutely. There's no way it won't be. But again, too, I do appreciate that visual of if you're going to have 3 sets of trios titles, I'm glad that all 3 members of the Bang Bang Gang were holding a different version of it.
They're assholes. So I never really like the whole point is that they're just complete assholes. I don't want them to match or to do it because it's cool. I was fine with them having obnoxious. Like, why do you have 3 belts representing the same title? Because they're obnoxious assholes.
Ass boys.
Ass boys. I don't want to talk about boys and assholes. That's really not my thing.
All right.
What is this, a church?
No.
Well, we broke John.
Censorship is important here.
All right, FTW 3-way eliminator. Hook versus the Bounty Hunter versus Katsuyori Shibata. I am surprised they didn't go ECW style and make it a 3-way dance, but hey, that would have been too cool and made sense, I guess. But nothing makes sense when it comes down to for the world title in this match. All 3 guys won qualifying matches on Collision to make it to this point. I was surprised to see Bounty Hunter here and not trying to collect the bounty that the Bucks put on Danielson.
And especially since he wants Bryan specifically too, like he has publicly stated, like I want Bryan Danielson.
At one point too, you had Chris Jericho, the Learning Tree, and the Giant Redwood make their way down, as most trees do, since trees are known to move and not stay in one place.
The Redwood.
Well, the learning ones, anyway.
He had one of those moments where Jericho has been a part of a few of these. I can remember with Benoit and Angle, where you got 2 guys making the one dude tap. And both Shibata and Hook were able to get the Bounty Hunter, Brian Keith, to tap out. And the Learning Tree says, you know what? I'll take them both on. It'll be a learning experience.
He's so Delulu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dig it. I wasn't really. I mean, I thought the match was I was enjoying it until the until the finish. I thought the finish was odd. Probably because I had to watch NXT yesterday with the NXT gang, the crew, and they basically did a double pin finish yesterday, and I didn't expect to see a double submission in the same week, let alone the next day. I was like, oh shit. But yeah, sucked the joy out for me. But I don't expect most people to watch NXT, so it's not like, man, why did they do this? NXT did it yesterday. Like, who the fuck is watching NXT? Me. Me.
It's worth noting that the qualifier matches were Hook defeated Johnny TV by submission, SHIBATA defeated Rocky Romero, and what was a banger of a match. So if you haven't seen that on Collision, I recommend it. And Bounty Hunter Bryan Keith defeated the 400-pound Big Boulder. I dug it.
What the hell were we talking about? I got lost for a minute. I lost all my service.
Oh no.
I was just going over what the qualifiers were leading up to this point. The do we see the Jera Vortex potentially grabbing a hold of Bryan Keith since Jericho wants anyone that has the slightest bit of hype to them?
I was hoping there'd be a couple more people in the thing than Big Bill. It's taking a while though. We're taking a long time to get there.
It's because Chris Jericho's Delulu, that's why.
And if Bryan Keith joins the Jera Vortex as under the learning tree, what tree would he be?
Ooh, a shrub.
Holy shit. Be a branch.
He is a tiny guy compared to Big Bill.
Branch manager, perhaps?
Branch manager. I hate this.
Speaking of branch managers, fellas, we had a lovely advertisement. Look at these managers.
It's fucking incredible.
They look familiar.
I'm almost disappointed that they're real shoes and they have a metric or whatever, because I'm satisfied with the commercials. Like, look at Okada doing a shoe commercial on American television.
He's so excited.
Isn't that crazy that you just come in and immediately are a part of a commercial for a major shoe brand? It feels weird to me because Jordan has the Roman deal, but the Bucks are the ones that were wearing Jordans on TV for such a long time, and they ended up with a Reebok deal. I'm like, oh, that's not the same at all. This isn't right. This isn't right. Oh my goodness, we are completely off the rails. But we go from the branch managers to the CEO of the whole company. This is no longer the FTW title match because it is about more than that. It is about the TBS Women's Championship.
TBS.
Willow Nightingale with history will be taking on Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing.
It's going to be great. I'm always bothered by the triple main event thing, double main event, triple main event. Not bothered, like it doesn't bother me. I just like there's no fucking such thing. Like, shut up. Unless all three matches are happening at the same time at the end of the show, then there's no triple main event, you know?
Look at Tony.
I do get the branding. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like fucking, I don't have my head up my ass. I understand that just means there are 3 main event caliber matches on the card. But when you triple main event, it's just one of those overly, promotional things AEW does, Tony Khan does, that I always find a little cheesy. But it's not as bad as like Macaroni Madness or Macarena Mayhem or whatever the fuck.
Do you remember WWE No Mercy 2016 when the main event was the one that opened the show?
That's right, because there was a basketball game or something.
That was the presidential debate.
That's right. Something big. It was the presidential debate, and they had this. What was it? Cena versus AJ versus Ziggler, or versus? I think it was Moxley.
Styles versus Mox versus Cena.
There you go. I'm sorry. What the fuck was Ziggler? Oh, Ziggler was in the final match of the show with the Miz.
No, that should have been the final match, but the final match was Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton.
Shut the fuck up! No, it wasn't.
It was, because we had
what?
In fact, that wasn't even the second to last match. The Tyler versus Career was the 6th match. Then that was followed by Naomi defeating Alexa Bliss, and then that was followed by Bray Wyatt defeating Randy Orton.
I hate that fucking company.
There's a reason AEW needed to happen in that era. People forget that.
Yeah, no, they don't like the sound of AEW kicked WWE in its ass and made it fucking what it is today. Because it sounds you can't say that. I'm sorry. It's what it is.
Oh, 2019 WWE when AEW started, that was a breath of fresh air. Didn't have to worry about the dog food stuff, and at the time too, WWE did have a very bloated roster that was getting completely misused, and you can argue that might be happening today, but at the time, this was what was absolutely needed. It was crucial. And it's helped set WWE up for more success because you can argue that it helped improve the product desperately from the mess that was 2019. There's a reason we don't even talk about that much.
I understand. I am there.
Those were dark times.
Those were dark times, but we're in the light now. Even an AEW episode that doesn't inspire people is better than the stuff we were watching back then. So I mean, I'm always having fun. I guess that's why I'm like so. I sometimes really enjoy an episode of Dynamite, and I look and everyone's like, "Oh, that was the worst thing ever." And I was like, "You motherfuckers, you weren't there. You just weren't sitting with me. Not even 2019, 2009. We were watching 2010, 2011. You weren't there.
Oh man,
I have built a tolerance for bad wrestling.
Dude, 2009. Let me tell you, like when it was guest host time, this was a shell of what Raw used to be 10 years prior.
Welcome, our latest local news host who doesn't know anything about wrestling, but we really committed to this gimmick. It's fucking it's Dean Schmolo. He's welcome to WWF Raw.
Yo, and this is the same time frame where they were like, hey, let's bring back D'Lo Brown. Hey, let's bring back Carlito. Hey, let's bring back Chris Masters. No reactions for any of those guys when they came back.
I don't even remember.
Just ruthless aggression era guys.
I didn't even remember D'Lo.
That was, I know at the time was like a Stephanie McMahon signing.
I got this, Dad.
And then he just came in at the wrong time because then the economy tanked. They had to release a bunch of people.
Sorry, bro.
We just brought you back. Here's the interesting thing too. Very early 2009. We'll get back on track, but like you had Hardcore Holly, Val Venus, and D'Lo Brown all on the roster by January 1st of 2009, and then like the next week they're all released. It's such a weird time frame.
Yeah, man, I thought my house was saved. What the fuck? Anyway.
Caesar's in the darkness now. He's joined the Shadow Realm.
What the fuck is going on with your lighting?
It's the budget.
We blew the budget by being able to talk about 2009 WWE.
I did blow the budget. I bought donuts earlier and
didn't even share. Wow.
No,
they're all for you.
I didn't say I bought donuts for us. You implied.
Nick, we're done. Let's leave.
You implied that.
Donut list. We'll go on to the next match. A man who probably wouldn't buy donuts for anyone else. Don Callis led the way out for Konosuke Takeshita to be able to take on Matt Sydal with no Mike Sydal. Where is Mike? He disappears and comes back and disappears again, much more than Mark Quinn.
Tony, could you call my brother just to show up next to me, man? He got to pay some bills, man. Come on.
That's the sad part. That it's pretty true.
You can come up.
I was joking about it, but at the same time, where's Mark Quinn? Isaiah Cassidy's come out alone like 3 times now within the last.
I don't know, man. They looked like they were gonna reset Private Party, and then they didn't. That's frustrating. I enjoy Private Party a lot. I wanted to see them. I wanted to see them matter in the tag division, but it doesn't appear that's in the cards. And it's not like, you know, I understand that the roster's stacked, but it's not like the tag team roster is so full of tag teams that Private Party can't fit somewhere in a feud on TV, just at least.
Even for a brief run in Ring of Honor.
It's an unfortunate. It's a bit unfortunate that AEW introduced the trios titles and then they shifted. It's not unfortunate that they shifted focus to have more women's matches, but it's unfortunate that the focus that they originally put on the tag titles and the tag division went to trios and went to putting a second and third women's programming slot on the television. They do deserve it, and they should have the third slot. But again, we lost something really good. So hopefully they can find a way to balance it and stick it back in there and get a dedicated tag team championship program going, and some dedicated tag team programs happening on the side of that.
David Harris says private parties in the back watching Mark Henry roll up frying pans to earn his last few paychecks.
Holy shit.
Hey guys, you got to slow down. Watch me do this.
Watch this feat of strength. I still got it.
I still got it.
Oh man, but speaking of still got it, SYDAL and TAKESHITA work really well together, and can we appreciate the freakish strength that TAKESHITA has? SYDAL on the mat gets pulled up looking like a handshake. No, he just gets taken from the ground all the way up to the shoulders of KONOSUKE just to get destroyed. Like, TAKESHITA's a freak of nature athlete.
I love how he doesn't seem to have a finisher. He just kind of ends you with whatever knocked you out.
Oh my god, that I didn't know that you said something.
Yeah, no, he's
does whatever he wants.
If the elbow did it, if it was a clothesline, if it was a power bomb, if it was his breadbasket chaos theory combo,
basket.
It is a breadbasket. I mean, that's
no, just like yeah.
I don't want to call it the dude buster. It's just a breadbasket.
Dude buster. Why is Trent so triggered right now?
The dude buster, it's backwards, right? Breadbasket is the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is sick. I mean, if he's gonna have a finisher, that shit fucking crush him and then German suplex him like that. It's a little extra. It's a little SmackDown versus Raw creative finisher, but I dig it.
Oh yeah. So we got the freakish athlete. He's a 10-sport athlete, isn't he? Konosuke Takeshita.
He is. Decathlon?
Man is a absolute powerhouse, and
he gave up the Olympics.
Agile. He's Olympic caliber. This dude is insane.
I get the Don Callis feel burned into my brain. This kid's a genius. He gave up the Olympics to wrestle. He's here. Oh, did you guys actually notice earlier in the night? I mean, I should have talked about this in the fucking beginning of the show, but as I mentioned Don Callis, I thought about the fact that he walked right by Will Ospreay getting his ass beat to go help Orange Cassidy. He just strolled right by Will Ospreay as they clocked him over the head and busted his ass open to scream at Trent for fighting with Orange Cassidy. I was like, what the fuck?
To be fair, you got to choose between a one-on-one situation and a 4-on-1.
He just scooted by, though.
I don't blame him on that one.
The camera pulls back and they just show little Don Callis' head just like sliding by this horrible situation. Not my business.
I saw nothing.
Trent was on the complete other side and just sprinted over just to yell at Don, like, stay away, I'm going to kill him.
No, that was good. That was fine.
So then we have Jon Moxley coming out, giving him just the big bonk like we saw Hook do to the learning tree. And
such a promo.
Mox gives him the big bonk and says, we'll see Konosuke Takeshita at Double or Nothing.
The big bonk.
Big bonk. At this point, we go into the backstage area. Swerve is sitting at the elite spot. The Jackson 2 makes sure that Swerve's music goes on as he is right there in the director's chair. What up, turds?
That was actually really funny.
Right?
I do wonder where I do wonder how they're gonna pay this off. I mean, they all wrestle, but like, what are we headed towards when it comes to Swerve versus the EVPs? Is Jungle Boy in line for the world championship?
Oh God,
there's nothing wrong with that. It's just Ospreay's here.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Ospreay's time to shine.
It's Ospreay's time. Although, I mean, it clearly doesn't. I don't know. I think maybe they put him in the international title scene to try to get us to stop thinking of him as the guy in the main event at Wembley. But holy, wait a fucking minute.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
They're if they did Jack Perry If they did Jack Perry in the main event of Wembley Stadium, the year after the Wembley incident, that actually
Who hurt you, John?
That makes so much sense. Wait.
Serious fire going on, even more than Darby's flamethrower.
I'm cooking. What the fuck is going on? Who put the chef hat on me? How did we get here? How did we get here?
Picture of John, you guys. Actually, picture of John.
Holy shit! Jack Perry is going to grab that belt and do the greatest backstage promo in history.
Just set it on fire
as he walks us through where it all happened. And this right here.
This is where he punched me.
And now I'm standing as world champion. And where is he?
In some bum ass company.
Injured again.
Once more.
No, man.
Gosh.
Holy shit at the thought of that. Actually,
John's on top of the world right now.
It's this storyline with the EVPs. It has all these meta elements, and it's like, what would be a better place to start paying things off than Wembley Stadium? Like, God, I'm so giddy with the idea I've just come up with.
We can
Especially
tell
if they're theoretically planning a long title run for OSPREAY with the international title.
That's great.
Something ready to stand by. I do appreciate.
That's racist.
Oh no, I'm not reading that one. But what I will say is Swerve being the AEW World Champion and kind of representing AEW, standing up to the EVPs. I do appreciate that element of it.
I love that. I said that when he won the title, I needed him involved in this no matter what. I just didn't want him to fall behind. And this does make him feel like a big deal. Like when he talks to them like that and he's like, tell them play my music. And they have no choice but to be like, somebody play the champ's music, man. It makes Swerve feel like he matters. It makes him feel like he is on par with the people, with the EVPs. Fuck you, Jesus. I'm only racist towards you.
Well, we had speaking of interwoven storytelling where everyone's getting involved.
I just don't want those Jesus with my daughter. That's all.
The fatherly thing to do is for someone like a Daddy Swerve to take on Nick Wayne, Mr. Daddy Issues himself, who came out with a Christian is my dad shirt. And these two took each other on. I appreciated Swerve being like, I'll be his father. And Swerve is giving Nick Wayne the belt. Like I'd say all of us.
He did whip his ass.
I'm trying to wait for a little bit.
I wish they would have kind of because in the match they were kind of telling their own little story and Swerve, he was a meme right there. He was screaming all these story things at Nick Wayne, and I wish commentary would have done a better job.
This hurts me more than it hurts you.
Together. But it is what it is. That's just me being a fucking smart mark.
Dude, Swerve's got those functional muscles. He might not look it, but the dude is strong. The way he was just lifting up and throwing Nick Wayne around.
Jesus has a good. Jesus has a great comment down here about Nick Wayne because I agree. Nick Wayne in New Japan would be great, if only because I really feel like AEW should utilize the excursion thing a lot more than they do. It worked so well with Jack Perry. It was fucking perfect. It's exactly what you do. It's exactly what you, because he needed it anyway. I would have said, even if none of the fucking CM Punk things happened, I would have said, man, an excursion for Jack Perry would be great. He'd go over there, come back as a massive heel. And that's fucking exactly what he did. I would love to see Nick Wayne in New Japan. I'd love to see Hook. Yeah, Jesus brought up Hook. Anna Jay to Stardom. We really got to get these excursions going. If more than just crossover and bringing people in for pay-per-views and shit, utilizing that partnership by sending dudes over there for months to improve, to change, or because they've been on TV too long, or because they haven't been on TV enough. There's so many ways to utilize the excursion and in the way that people used to play around in the territories, where it's like, I've overexposed myself in this territory, but we have access to another. like I could just go. I can just move on to the north, and they haven't seen me up there on their TV, so I'm gonna be in the fucking north. We really should be doing things like that. If Tony Khan's gonna have partnerships with every fucking company, man, I wish he would have people in excursions all over. Sammy in Mexico, Hook and fucking Nick Wayne in Japan, Anna Jay in Japan. Like that'd be so sick. I don't know. I don't run a wrestling company.
Plus, too, like look at like the other side of the spectrum is like having some outside talent getting featured, because that's what they did early on, and that really was awesome. And when they featured Mystico, I think a lot of people really appreciated that at the time, because that got a lot of people to watch Rampage for the first time in forever. And plus, I mean, look at when they did Jack Perry versus Doki. Like everyone turned on Jack Perry to cheer for Doki. Doki.
The only problem is Tony Khan got no restraint. He starts trying to poach. That's how DDT lost to KASSIDY. The Ace. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Come back. No, I mean honestly, there's a bit of, it's not even just that. I mean honestly, I'm exaggerating a little bit. Most times it's them coming to America and being like, wait a minute, this is quite cool. They love me. They really love me. Hold on a minute. I didn't think they knew my fucking name.
I'm appreciated.
Y'all got them contracts over here or what? He's got his house packed already. Why have you been bringing over so many things every time we book you? I'm just getting ready, boss. What?
Why you been leaving so many things in America? Oh, don't worry about it.
It's weird to buy an apartment when I only book you for like monthlies, but okay.
Well, speaking of a full house, part of Christian Cage's house, the Kill Switchosaurus came out to attack Swerve. And
he tore his fucking ACL or something. Holy shit.
I'm gonna miss him when he's gone.
Did you see it?
No, I just saw him laid out because I was typing, and the next thing I know, I'm like, oh, must have got taken down. What happened?
He was on the turnbuckle and Swerve pushed him down, and his leg got caught. Between the second rope and the third rope. So when he fell, it just hooked. Like it was a leg there, just hooked. And he went down and he didn't come back up. But I don't, but Swerve gave him like a drive-by swerve kick. So I'm like, maybe he's okay. Or he hasn't had time to call for help and he just had to sell again. Like, ow.
Christian Cage with the patriarchy, and Mother Wayne came down to the ringside area. Who was it that got that drive-by swerve kick when Swerve started chasing? Was it Nick Wayne or was it Kill Switchosaurus?
It was Luchasaurus. He was just sitting on the ground with a torn knee.
I love the fact he got that kick as he's chasing after Christian.
That was great. Christian is such a heel too. He abandoned his entire family. He didn't think twice. Left the wife, left the child, jumped in the vehicle.
Tried to speed up. Listen, I want to give credit to that camera guy. They must have hired this camera guy from Maury the way that he was running after all of them.
And it's worse because it's a team. It's like, it's two people chasing Christian and trying not to trip over the fucking wires. Yeah. The dude holding the camera and the dude holding the wire wheel. And they're just like chasing Christian through the building. That does take some skills. Good on them.
Absolutely. Christian jumps in, basically carjacks a guy who might be in Tony Khan's car. Chat, let us know again how you feel about that debate, whether or not that is Tony Khan's car Christian took. At any rate, he's driving off, and earlier in the show, I wrote down, I miss Prince Nana, but guess what? A car gets in the way, swerves while he drives, drinking his coffee. It's the return of Nana. He doesn't need to dance. He's got the car right in there. Swerve rushes up. He manages to pull Christian Cage right out of the vehicle, and it is just an absolute brawl on the top of the freaking car. These guys, I don't even know what to say. This was just sports entertainment, spectacular in the best way possible.
It was great. It was great for Swerve. I love when the normal wrestling trope happens and it gets thwarted. But I also, when Christian was running away again, I was like, oh, well, he's done this before. So somebody kind of has to stop him now. Like, you have to be prepared for him. I almost expected Swerve to be like the Flash and just fucking somehow end up in front of Christian anyway. But the Prince Nana reveal was cool. I actually, I didn't forget about him, but when the truck pulled up in front of Christian, I was like, who the fuck?
I did not think it was him.
He's drinking coffee because he has his own coffee brand. I love Prince Nana, but let's never forget this guy tried to sell me on some bogus life insurance a couple years ago. Okay. So when I see he has like a coffee brand with the dance thing, I'm like, did he even ask? Are we sure that he asked permission for this? And he's promoting it on television now, slyly.
I guarantee he did not ask about this.
I have my own experiences with Prince Nana, folks, and I don't think that he's on the up and up with his coffee. So, I'm not. That's not a joke. I'm not joking. He actually did try to sell me some bogus life insurance. It was like multiple.
It got nothing to do. That's the worst part.
There were multiple because we known each other from. When I trained in wrestling, he was one of the people who would frequent the building, and so I had him on Facebook. So when he wrote me, I was like, "Well, that's weird. We don't usually speak." And he wanted to sell me. He had like multiple voice messages too, so I can't just read the preview. You have to listen to it till they see you saw it.
That's the strategy.
I was like, "Fuck you! I'm leaving you on scene too. What the fuck did you think this was?" Although I do feel bad because the same thing. Jimmy Rave asked me for money once, and I was like, "No, you're on drugs." I didn't tell him that, and then he fucking died. I was like, "Shit, wait, no, I feel so bad."
It's okay. Remember, We Love for Wrestling, and I had to like banish or mute China on something, and then she passed away like within the week.
Yo, that's right. You had to mute China for promoting stuff in the group, and then she passed away. Oh fuck! Oh my god. That's horrible. You're a bad person.
Shame on you. Can't associate with this.
Prince Nana's promoting his own coffee. Make sure you go check out Prince Nana's coffee.
We have many stories of the internet escapades. We argued. We're the people who convinced Road Dogg to turn Becky Lynch babyface in the Charlotte feud.
That's right.
Remember that shit?
Oh, pro wrestling was the time.
We love pro wrestling. Good memories.
They're still active. Go check them out on Facebook if you want to go join a wrestling group.
Absolutely. But yes, great segment. Great segment with Swerve and Christian. I really like seeing the heel get thwarted in a way that it just subverts normal wrestling tropes, and it made Swerve look great. Swerve looks great as champion. I don't know where people had an issue with him getting beat up like a couple weeks because it's like, oh, this is how you're treating a world champion. It sets up moments like this one. Like that's how storytelling works. He's got to go through a little bit of adversity before he could come out on top. And it's not like he was losing matches. To the contrary, he was winning them. He was coming out and winning matches and then getting beat up afterwards.
Right.
So, yeah, he looks great, man. He looks great as a champion. He feels like a champion, especially because they've balanced his interactions with the top storyline in the show and his problems from the past coming to catch up with him. He actually apologized to Nick Wayne for what he did in the ring at the end of the match, and the fucking cameras only heard half of it. So I hope he gets a promo or something about it, because that's like a big a story element. If these things are from the past are coming to haunt him, he should be conquering them and then making peace, because that's what the hero does.
Right.
Fuck you, Jesus. AEW forever.
Well, I mean, to wrap up the segment, Swerve ends up DDTing Christian on the hood of this SUV, and he goes to set up a concerto, but it doesn't go on. Christian finds a way to sprint off. And that's the segment.
Great fucking shit. I loved it.
Love. I already ran enough. I don't need to run anymore.
Never mind. Not my business. He's gone.
Cameraman needed to get his splash suit ready to go because it was time for the kickboxers. You had Malakai Black on one side, KOR, Kyle O'Reilly on the other. House of Black members got great presentation and presence, but you know what? Don't sell KOR short. Dude is great in the ring at what he does. Fellas, what do we think of this match? Caesar.
It intrigued me when, like, you were saying, like, the kickboxing thing, because, you know, you hear that in a pro wrestling match, it makes you, like, I mean, we're not gonna be the guys who are like, oh, this is so stupid, but when you hear, okay, Malakai Black, he fights with his feet. Like, how many matches have you seen him just do straight up punches and elbows? Very low on his scale, but kicks, they're brutal. Like, I would love to see how strong his legs are. So it was a good match. I'll give it that. But storyline wise, I'm curious to see where it's going to go when it comes to the pay-per-view this Sunday.
Oh, absolutely. And I got to say, too, Malakai Black got quite the ovation. The crowd loved seeing him, especially in this singles match.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the crowd was, at certain parts throughout the show, kind of dead. John, what'd you think?
This was so this was so different from any of the other matches on the show, and honestly any of the matches that they've had on the company for a while. They went out there with their because they both have martial arts skills, and they made it work. I really enjoyed this. I wish it was in front of a different crowd. This crowd didn't deserve this match. Right. They weren't ready for what was in this ring with these two. And it showed. They were silent most of the time, but great work from both of them. I don't like seeing Kyle O'Reilly in this spot. I don't think this is a spot for Kyle. He has to be given time to shine so that you can see what he's capable of. It's the way that they were booking him when he first came to AEW, where he was seen as a secondary guy, but then booked as if he was the primary guy. So it's reversed now, where people are like hoping for O'Reilly to come in as a primary guy, but he's being booked as a secondary guy. It's like, what the fuck is going on? I don't like seeing him come out and get bitched by House of Black on Collision, then to come out and to lose to the people that bitched him the very next week. It kind of tells you that his spot that this is his spot right now, and I don't know what they plan on doing with him after, or if they have any plans for him at all, rather than just good hand who's wrestling.
One of my favorite tropes in wrestling groups is when one of the secondary guys who you don't think is going to get the title or the push or the wins gets those. You know, they got the title. You know, they get those tournament wins. I remember when Kyle O'Reilly was going through, was it the Owen Hart Memorial Cup, that he just was going through round after round, and I was like, that's pretty cool. That's really helping him out a lot to establish him.
It's almost like they had their hands tied because his group is gone, and the guys who are left
kind of burned a bridge.
Yeah, and the guys who are left are doing bullshit. But again, I just think Kyle O'Reilly is much better than what we're doing with him right now, and it's not like I know where to shuffle him off to either. I don't want him to be like, yeah, we need Kyle O'Reilly to be world champion. But hey, if Ospreay wins that fucking belt, then I guess they can do the Ospreay O'Reilly match they teased during the gauntlet, but then O'Reilly is still in the position where he has to fucking lose. So like, god damn.
Put him in the other casino gauntlet.
For the world title, he's gonna get this ass thrown right over the fucking top.
Remember the casino.
Oh, that's right, it's a gauntlet.
Someone just gotta get pinned.
Somebody's gotta get pinned.
Hopefully
it's Kyle. Kyle's gonna be on the entrance ramp as the person gets pinned.
Oh god,
he's gonna be on the ramp as Commander gets pinned.
He's just on the ramp kicking shit, throwing regular wrestler tantrum. No, this ain't me.
It should have been me. Oh my goodness.
Triggered Wrestling says the match sucked because Malakai should have looked strong heading into the pay-per-view. Malakai Black has looked strong for the past 2 years. I think he's going to be okay. And even within the context of just this storyline, Malakai Black has been so protected. He didn't lose to Edge at all. He's fucking gets the advantage on Edge over and over and over again. Beats up his help. Pins Kyle O'Reilly.
Out kickboxed another kickboxer.
Yeah, I think he looked just fine. I think you might have wanted to see him run through Kyle O'Reilly, and I was just like, no, that's a bad idea. Then in that case, maybe he should wrestle someone else. But I didn't think it was necessary for fucking Malakai Black to be winning enhancement matches. Like, what we already know what he is. The follow-up was cool though. Good job.
Oh, yes. So it gets a little dark, a little spooky. If you guys recall, the black mist was spit into the face of Adam Copeland. When this happens, we've seen what it's done in the past. Unless you're Willow Nightingale, who is all sunshine and rainbows, you turn to pure darkness and evil, as Sky Blue did. Well, this brought back a version of Adam Edge Copeland that we have not seen in a while. The lights went dark. We might not have heard the theme song itself, but when the lights came back in pure red, Vampire Copeland himself, representing the Brood, decided, hey, you know what we did? You remember the 90s? Bloodbath. Boom.
Bloodbath. I popped for the bloodbath. I admit, I was like, oh yes. And it was also super it was so much pressure on the bloodbath that Malakai had to get the fuck out of the way. He was like, this is too much. Just gonna roll over and let the impact happen.
Such a blood pool. Holy crap.
Because when you think about it too, that's stuff getting poured from the ceiling.
Yeah.
And that just gets faster and harder as it comes down.
Yep.
Because gravity.
That was fucking great, though. It got great. I'm so used to watching the fucking Kevin Nash clip that seeing.
Oh, God.
Seeing it.
I was worried about that.
Seeing it hit was just satisfying. Like, yeah, I'm so glad.
Connected.
It connected. I know this is going to bring the mood down. I'm not a fan of all this spooky shit. All this as Brood, Edge, all this shit.
Man,
I
has an opinion.
It's not my thing. I'm not into this kind of stuff. But this bloodbath triggered a nostalgic moment for me for fucking growing up an Edge fan. Edge is one of my favorites. He's got to be top 20 easy. But yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this match on Sunday being full of spooky, outrageous, super powered bullshit. I mean, it's a barbed wire cage match. I would prefer it just be a barbed wire cage match, whatever that is.
Honestly, that's the way I took this, where they got the spooky stuff out of the way now, and this was, I think, the message being sent that, oh yes, there will be blood, and that's how I took that more than like this is signifying the spookiness.
Okay, I can definitely see that. I was just worried that this was Edge going, I have powers too, and I'll see you on Sunday, and we'll go power for power. Fucking do the Dragon Ball beam battle in the middle of the cage or whatever. You can do it, Edge. Believe in yourself, Adam. You're holding back.
Gangrel runs over to ringside and gets everyone to put their hands up for Edge to do the spirit bomb.
Adam, you have the energy.
You can defeat Malakai Black.
You do it now.
You just get like a montage of everyone in the back. Malakai's defeated. It's all like broken up. Like,
do it. Oh fuck. That's great.
Can we appreciate too Malakai trying to leave the ring and slipping?
Yeah, I'm telling you, he was really disorientated from the pressure of that water or blood or whatever syrupy, nasty fucking barbecue sauce shit they had there.
JR's barbecue. Listen,
imagine.
I wasn't as worried for any other moment as I was when I saw that he had to walk up the ramp, because that ramp looks so slippery already.
It does. It's very glossy and
yeah. It's so smooth and glossy, and the fact that he had to go up there.
Boom, boom, boom. Okay, nice. The ladies are here.
The ladies, yes. The ladies took each other on in a spit swap and makeout match.
Let's fucking go! Let's go!
Who won? Who cares?
Let's go!
Maybe not to the level of a Swerve and Mox, but it was all right.
I don't know. That guy in the front row right there with the neck brace on. You guys see that?
He's me. No.
I thought you were guys standing up.
Look at the girl that's sitting in the crowd above Harley. She's just like, oh.
I didn't actually see it coming. I was like, what the fuck? Random as fuck.
You saw that coming.
We got to stop that word.
There was the part 2 where Saraya fell onto Harley and Toni Storm runs up and does her best Nelson from The Simpsons impression.
That was great. I was laughing so hard at that.
My pop of the night right there.
Listen, I thought that this wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, it was good. I was enjoying it.
Yeah, no, I even before they started making out, I was like, this is actually not bad. I mean, it was, I'm not saying it was like technical and
it was so technical.
Whatever. It was just I had an expectation and it exceeded it, and it's like, okay, well, that's fine. Whatever they've been doing with Saraya and Harley on Rampage all this time is fucking working. So keep doing it over there. Keep doing it on the Friday show that I don't have time to watch. Okay. But yeah, great stuff. A bunch of great wrestling. Toni Storm ends up getting attacked afterwards by a very fancy looking Serena Deeb. I was confused at first because her regular outfit is quite fancy. So I thought she just added a fur coat to it. I was like, oh, well, that doesn't look bad. Like I would. Mm-hmm. Is this a new gimmick or like what are we doing? And it was that she was wearing Toni Storm's coat because Toni was wearing her flag. So I only gathered that because I couldn't be satisfied with this thought that was Serena Deeb's coat. Like I was just like, that's not Serena Deeb's coat. Where is this coming from?
Doesn't feel right.
Great move. I'm not going to say this was a double turn, but this was certainly turning Serena Deeb back heel because there was a real effort to have her cut these babyface promos about the seizures that she had, and it was honestly a little embarrassing because she's saying this heartfelt stuff and the crowd is like they're not with her.
They were chanting for hockey.
Yeah, so this year she just comes out and she's like, fuck that. Or this week, I mean, not this year. This week.
I mean, this year too.
True.
So my question to you guys is like, do we see Toni going over at the pay-per-view? Yeah, there's no. As much as I would like for my own personal taste, Serena Deeb to be champion, it doesn't make it doesn't make any sense. Too.
Yeah,
I do appreciate too the fact that when you think about this, you have someone sitting down, putting their weight and pressure onto a steel chair. That's pretty much constricting you. You can't get out of there while you have a half Boston Crab being applied to you.
Oh, that's disgusting. Yeah, that shit.
Brutal.
That shit was brutal. Listen, I'm excited for the match. Serena Deeb is a great wrestler. One of my favorite AEW women's matches is Serena Deeb versus Riho on the 2021 Double or Nothing show. I think it was on the pre-show, but I want Deeb to get back to that place. I was glad she was strapped. She was champion. She was defending. It was great. It's going to suck seeing her lose here, especially now when she seems to be getting momentum again. But it's going to happen.
The other thing I got to ask is like, so we get to Sunday and it's Toni versus Deeb. Toni wins. What's next, do we think? Who's next? Is it too soon to do the whole Mariah thing?
If they're planning on doing that anytime at all this year, it would have to be Wembley, I would think, because that seems like the move.
I imagine they do a match with Toni and Mina before they do Toni and Mariah.
That's right. Forbidden Door is the next pay-per-view, and that's definitely where that's happening. Absolutely happening on that show.
We need Jamie Hayter back.
If only. That's a scary thing. There's no word. There's nothing. It's just like she's out there, possibly healing, possibly retired.
Chilling.
I like to imagine there's it's a Schrodinger's cat thing. As long as I don't know, she could show up next week on Dynamite for all I, the hope is in my heart that she can appear at any point later this year until someone comes out and says no, she actually never recovered from the bad back. She passed away. What the fuck?
Whoa!
Oh,
What?
Whoa!
no.
Jamie, come back. Jamie, I miss you.
Jamie.
We all do.
Yeah, we do. Get well soon, Jamie. Fellas, guess what time it is?
Game time.
9:04 on the West Coast.
11:04 in the Midwest.
Let's go.
Represent. Yes,
Yeah, Nick.
Mac, my man.
Nick
Okay.
content.
Hey, before we get into what I think he's getting into,
He's not.
did you guys see? Whoa! Did you guys see what Billy
Still
Starks
getting
is
into.
saying right now on Twitter?
Uh-oh. What did she
Oh,
say?
no.
He's talking about flamethrowers and want to buy one.
Oh, that's funny. I think she was mad about something.
That'll happen.
That's very funny. Those impressionable children. You know how that goes.
Ah, yes.
Damn, 18-year-old kids.
The parents themselves will become the jobbers of the night when their children get flamethrowers. But in this instance, we need to pick our jobbers of the night, brought to you by monk.com. Make sure that when you go to monk.com to get your personal aromatherapy diffusers that you use promo code DSR10, that is DSR10 on monk, monq.com. 10% off your purchase. Jobber time. Who is it?
Oh.
I gotta take some time to look through my list. Who wants to go first?
Me too. You know.
I'll go ahead and go first. I don't really have anybody, but if I stall long enough, I think I could come up with something while I look through this list. Oh, I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and I'll go with Brian Keith.
Bounty Hunter tapping out to two different men.
The Bounty Hunter, not only did he tap out to two different men tonight, this man had the perfect bounty opportunity lined up for him.
Oh,
And he didn't answer the phone. Just didn't answer the phone. Was too worried about the For the World Championship opportunity with Chris Jericho. I cannot tell you how fast I simply would not have shown up for this match and collected my bounty instead. In real life, they're just waiting for Brian Keith to come out. It's like, where is he? No, much more interesting things going on. Give me a second.
right.
Did I even put that match on this fucking recap thing? Yeah.
Wow.
Oh no, Caesar, do you have yours yet?
I'll let you go first. I'm trying to pick.
All right, I'll be picking a man that I haven't seen win a match on AEW TV, be it Collision, be it Rampage, be it Dynamite in a while, and that is Matt Sydal.
No!
Dun.
Matt!
Remember when this guy was the big indie darling of 2009, 2010?
Yes, actually, because Matt Sydal was not one of my favorites in Ring of Honor. It's weird. I always kind of looked at him as like the same guy he was in WWE. Like, I never really thought too much about like his prospects story wise. Like, he's a great wrestler. I don't see anybody booking him to be world champion or to win the girl over. Like, I never saw that, and he never broke out of it. He was like, yeah, you're right. I was like, oh shit. I'm sorry.
It felt like a thing at the time where they looked at their rosters, said, we don't have the Billy Kidman that we created, where we took him out of the jorts and the tank top, made him the technical short-haired guy. We need someone that could do the shooting star press. Pop the seven-born guy in there. Call it a day.
Hey, that's fucking love that damn song. You could run if you want to, but you can't hide.
What is it about Kidman getting like the best theme songs in pro wrestling?
He paid someone off.
I
WCW
swore
theme song was a bop.
For the first few years of life where I knew that song, I thought it was DMX. We need to get old rip-off rappers back.
Dude, just the rip-off.
I said, I don't know what you doing with
Christian Cage has a rip-off theme.
The most legendary rip-off theme of them all, though. I love that fucking. That's so ripped off, but it's so blatantly ripped off. That's what makes it so good. It's almost illegal how ripped off that theme is.
Because when I hear of ripped off theme music, you know what I constantly think about? I'm just going to do the hand sign right now.
Bang! Smells like old boomer spirit.
Smells like spiritine.
Okay, but like Diamond Dallas Page, when he would just be in the crowd with a world title and have that theme song playing,
It did go hard though. That goes very hard. I can envision it right now. Like, yeah, we need more.
A whole rant ready to go when the time comes. When the show is on why Diamond Dallas Page should have ended the streak.
That's actually a great fucking point. That's a rant worth listening to.
I'm gonna make a whole hour-long video for those that are interested.
More world champions to go into the crowd after they win the belt. There's a lot of sitting on the edge. It's this halfway cowardice. Get in there. Jump in there. Run up to the 17th row. Celebrate.
Nosebleeds somewhere.
Celebrate with the dude in the nosebleeds. I always think of RVD going up to hug his wife in the second, like the second row, the second layer balcony, all the way the fuck. It took like 5 minutes to get up there too on live TV. He's like swimming through a sea of fans. I gotta go hug my wife.
One of the coolest visuals was Money in the Bank 2011. I'll always cite this. CM Punk leaving through the Chicago crowd on what was that last day. Oh, that was great.
To go put the belt in the fridge. That's great. I have my feelings about Punk, but I never shit on his work. He's got great moments. That was one of them for me, just because WWE was in such a low at the time. It was Cena. And I genuinely didn't believe that CM Punk would win. Like, I just didn't believe that he would win the title. I didn't see it at all. It's just not possible.
I remember too at that time, Cena was destroying all the new up and comers we didn't see in that spot, like R-Truth, like the month before.
Man, that was his whole MO. That's how I ended up hating him when I was a teenager, because he was pinning all my favorite guys. I was like, man, I love Cena. I also love all these guys. And just pin them one by one.
Shutting down the coolest storyline in years when the Nexus invaded.
Hey, what if I pin them both right now?
What
are you saying, Cena? I don't know. I'm feeling a little frisky. I'm gonna pin him right now.
Oh, you're a cold card.
I like the story of Edge and Jericho being like, well, maybe that's not a good idea. I'm gonna pin him right now. Right now. John, put him down. Put him down.
And his name is John Cena.
F you. You just hit your head on concrete. That's not possible. John
Cena.
Remember at TLC when Cena defeated Wade Barrett when it came down to just sound waves from chairs crashing on top of
That's right, because they didn't touch
I remember that.
He just pulled the set down.
He pulled the set down on a protective steel mesh that was right above him.
It's fucking garbage.
The sound waves was what took Barrett out. All right, but that was plenty of time for Caesar to make a pick.
Yeah, I've been chilling, waiting. You guys have your moment there.
Yeah,
you guys are having a moment, so I didn't want to break it up. I might get a flag. I bet a flag, but I'm only saying it because of the predicament she was put in. Toni Storm, that ending, like not the match, but the ending before the match, the segment was over, where Deeb came out and just like threw the shoe, took the ladder, the chair, all that shit. Like, that is brutal, especially going into the pay-per-view. So I'll be interested to see how this goes.
That's a great omen for Toni Storm. See, if Toni Storm has any respect for wrestling history, she knows that the champ who gets their ass beat the night before the show before the pay-per-view, he usually has the better chance of retaining.
Yeah. All right. Well, we go from jobber to the other side of the show. We have the mega star of the night. That is
powered by monk.com. Promo code DSR10 twice. Also powered by comicbookclick.com/Dershi Radio. Go. Be free. Check them out.
But be careful if you're too free, because you might end up on the Cold Case Project, which is a channel that focuses on all kinds of disappearances, murders, and other cold cases. Go check that out.
Like, there's no advertisements here.
No, that didn't happen.
All right, Megastar of the night. Caesar, it's your time to shine.
Oh, okay. I'm glad it's good first. And I'm giving it to Darby Allin. Flamethrower and a pink jacket to end the show, and that facial expression.
I fell.
It's like the ultimate meme picture right there. Like all the captions gonna show up later.
Like this is pro wrestling. This is what.
No, it's wrestling.
I love wrestling.
As long as this just isn't like a jump the shark moment, because how can you top this?
You can.
2 flamethrowers.
This is where we have the AEW musical episode.
An actual grenade launcher. Let's fucking go.
A shovel.
Ah! No,
Right.
Cody's gone, baby.
I gotta say, for my megastar of the night, who better to throw up there as the world champion himself, Swerve Strickland. Felt like a big deal going into this. He is the champ through and through, and that was probably just the best segment of the night. So I'll probably choose that for that too. Spoiler alert.
Whose house?
Swerve's house.
It's my house.
I think you would have said Bounty.
Whose house? It's Prince Nana's house with his new coffee
let's
house.
fucking go.
Prince Nana's coffee house. Order now.
It's like coffee. It's like Bailey's.
All right, John. Megastar.
All right. My megastar of the night is gonna go ahead and be Will Ospreay. The guy still just comes out. He has a fucking. He has the loudest reaction of the night. He's got the crowd most engaged with him overall. And Jesus says the megastar is Tony Khan. I can't argue with that. That was a fucking great moment. I wish they didn't get it from this angle though. If I had a problem with anything, I don't like that it wasn't overlaid. I think that moment should have been it should have taken up the whole screen because I mean shit.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a screenshot.
I'm surprised it didn't show it.
I think it was an accident. I'm pretty sure it was a mistake because like I get getting that shot preparing to shoot them from there, but like cutting to them after Darby walks out of the fucking car. You know what I mean?
I think to be fair, the transition was really fast because I think they also wanted to get the shot of all of them looking at the Contron.
Yeah.
The
Contron, baby.
This is Contron, baby. And that leads us into the finale, the segment of the night brought to you by AEW's Contron.
The Contron segment of the night. I guess I got one. My segment of the night is gonna be. I don't want to pick the easy one because like my segment of the night could be the closing, but I also really just enjoyed the final 2 minutes of that match where Tony and all of them made out. That's gonna be my segment of the night. This was
science.
Great. Scientifically sound, very technical.
That's a double. That's a stereo.
No, but if you go back, if you bring that back up,
if
you bring that back up, I wish I had the Pat McAfee, the fucking circles I can do live on screen. Because if you look over here, if you look at Tony Storm and Saraya's kiss, that is very bad Hollywood kissing technique.
That's 1 out of 10.
But if you come over here to Mariah May and Harley Cameron, they are 10-10. This is 10-10 Hollywood kissing technique. I can't tell if they're making out or not.
They're not even kissing.
Poor Aubrey.
Aubrey's like, I am not getting any of this, and this bothers me. Hey, same.
Yeah. This is too close for me.
Not close enough for her, sir. I don't think you know Aubrey.
If you know, you know. Anyways.
All right. I mentioned what my segment of the night was, and the spoiler was just this complete, utter. I don't even have any words for it because this was chaos. This was pandemonium. This was havoc. Whatever word you want to use there. Like everything about this, it might have screamed sports entertainment, but it was the most fun way that they could have done it. And I loved it. And that's what got me super hyped up for their match at the pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, it's my turn now, isn't it?
Caesar.
No, the show's over.
Skip.
We're out of time, folks. What's gonna happen when Sting and the NWO come face to face next week?
What the hell is NWO? Are you serious? I'm gonna sound like a total like fanboy when I say this, but segment of the night for me, the return of Death Triangle. I'm so
Let's
excited
go!
for that. I'm bringing out my t-shirt on Sunday. For
Yo,
that.
let's go. Let's fucking go. I love Death Triangle.
And to kind of quote you, John, what's up with Phoenix? He's freaking jacked.
God, it's not normal. He
Must-
came back in actual Super Saiyan. Not
Right.
okay with
It's a
this.
new guy. It's somebody else. It's not even the same person.
Super Lucha.
It's Alex Abrahantes.
Jesus. Oh, you know, that was my second choice for Jesus. The segment of the night is the Willow and Mercedes video package. That was very fucking well done. I enjoyed that. And again, I was talking about these video packages earlier. I'm
nervous in that picture.
She was.
Middle of the ref.
He probably should be, but I love this story of Willow Nightingale that they've stumbled upon here. She is. I'm very disappointed that they didn't give her another segment tonight, or that they didn't do last week's segment tonight before the pay-per-view, just to kind of have it fresher in the people's minds. And I know it probably doesn't get any better for Willow than what they did for her last week with Mercedes. She literally put that bitch through a table. Wow, you're dead. But nah, man, I'm so fucking. Willow is so. AEW right now is at this place where they have all this talent and they don't have a cherry on top, or they haven't placed a cherry on top. You have Swerve as champion, and that's great, but it's not that they're not going to build their company around him for whatever. I mean, I guess, you know, it is what it is. They just haven't chosen a guy. If you ask me, it's going to be fucking Will Ospreay because he's got this built-in megastar vibe and reactions and attention, and he
wasn't the best crowd, but they were on their feet for Ospreay.
That's what I mean. Even the shittiest crowd is insane for Will Ospreay. So when it comes to people like that, I also think Willow Nightingale can be one of them. I don't know if people are seeing her in that light yet, but I think beyond just a bubbly baby face, she could be the baby face. Like, she's not, because she's got everything, you know. She can talk. She's got charisma. She can wrestle.
Skill.
I don't know what else you need. I guess
Chris Statlander.
Competent booking.
Yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. Remember, when Willow first came into AEW, this was in that time frame where Tony didn't buy Ring of Honor yet, and a lot of those Ring of Honor exiles were just making appearances on Dark and Elevation. And she broke through that barrier where so many of them were relegated to jobber status, and some might still be in that status. She went beyond that, and I'd say of all the people that came in from that Ring of Honor time frame, Willow has succeeded all expectations beyond what all of those other talents are that came in.
She was one of my favorite Dark wrestlers back when AEW Dark was a thing. Me and Greg would talk about her and how all the possibilities for her in this company, and I'm so excited to see them realized over and over again. She just keeps hitting these milestones over and over and over and over again, and I don't want them to fade away with her, because they have that fucking problem where they have people who are over as fuck, and then they're like, I don't know what to do with you. You over as fuck, bro. Just go out there. Just go. You got this.
Go up.
You got this.
It's
like,
so
are you
fun
you
and bubbly that she got through the darkness.
That was great. That story too, that she's so powerful, such rainbows and unicorns that you can't even miss the darkness out of her. She just breaks out of it. Excuse me, you almost ruined my day.
You got all the sunshine and rainbows from the Willow side, but then you see like the other part where like in the like Death Rock writing where it says Nightingale, like she's got that other side where she could just flip a switch and it's deathmatch time.
That's the Dr. Bomb in her. Actually, she's one of AEW's premier hardcore girls now. If you look back, she's in the street fights. She's killed Sky Blue. Shit, man. I'm gonna be kind of disappointed to see her lose on Sunday, but that's the right move. She as cool as it is, she already pinned Mercedes. You know, like that's a thing that has to be addressed. Yeah. Mercedes is Mercedes cost more, and you just need to put more effort into her right now. It is what it is. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. Caesar specifically, no. What? No, Mercedes is the star. Mercedes is the one with the attention. She has the fucking Sasha crew. They love her. They watch for her. And and she's been on TV long enough. It's about time to put it into overdrive, get this shit going, strap her up, have her in matches, have her defending. Really, I think on Sunday Mercedes is going to try her best to show out all the way out, because she's got a lot of people to shut up now. It's I think a lot of wrestlers work best when they have a chip on their shoulder, and after months of people, why isn't she wrestling? Why isn't she wrestling? Why isn't she wrestling? Can she still wrestle? You're gonna have a lot to prove on Sunday, so this is gonna be sink or swim. It's gonna be interesting though. Let's fucking go.
Let's do it. Well, I'm looking forward to that. This has been one of the absolute longest Dynamite recaps we've done, but there was a lot to talk about.
Yes, sir.
Jesus says Willow's going to get screwed over, and we will all enjoy seeing Monet as champion.
That's true. I agree with both points.
There's other areas for Willow to tackle and overcome to get that victory back.
Chris Statlander is I don't know, if it was me, if I had the book, Chris would be involved in that, and she'd fuck Willow over somehow. And we'll see though. I still think that might happen. They've announced
Stokely keeps wanting to partner up with Willow.
One of the stories they were telling was that Stokely was trying to convince Chris to go dark and to do heel things, and she wouldn't, and then she lost. And so now it's like she's probably, naturally you go, well, if the other thing didn't work, then I'll have to try this. I'm gonna fucking beat this bitch's ass. She had the belt that I wanted. She took my spot. She's wrestling Mercedes in the triple main event, and I'm standing next to Stokely doing nothing. Yo, it's time. I'm down. Maybe we'll see Megan Payne. Maybe we'll see fucking Camille thrown into the. It's about time. It's about time to shake things up post pay-per-view. But yeah, man, that was Dynamite. We'd had a long one, almost as long as Dynamite.
Honestly, wow, yeah, you're right.
Hey, that's wrestling.
Especially when it's the go home show to a pay-per-view. It better be, something like makes us talk this long.
That was fun. I had fun. I always have fun talking with you guys. I had a fun episode of Dynamite. I am working.
I gotta shout out this moment too. Another night. Just saying, because none of us picked it.
How not? How is it not? Caesar picked it first.
Yeah, as well as Megastar.
Oh, that's right. I was like, wait, we saw that graphic. That's us though. Did we plug it? We plugged everything we had to plug. Make sure that you catch us Sunday immediately after Double or Nothing. Not us. I mean, whoever's there. I'll be there. Catch me. I don't know.
Might show up. We'll let you know.
Yes, Dershi Radio After Dark.
Thank you, Daisy.
Nick might be there.
I may or may not. Depends on how
find out at the podcast.
Dershi Radio After Dark, man. Join. I'm not gonna call it that because it just is Dershi Radio and it always is After Dark.
At least I know Max still loves me.
But join us if you're not done. If you're still like, fuck, I want to talk pro wrestling with the boys. What the fuck, man? Why are they going to sleep? We ain't.
Don't go to sleep. Just go
live. We're gonna go live again in a little while, and I'll see you guys then. But beyond that, be sure to catch us live all weekend long. Tomorrow, TNA Impact Post Show Rewind. Friday, the SmackDown Post Show Rewind recap relaunch.
Gonna be on that one.
What? They're relaunching the SmackDown show with new hosts. What? Where did that come from?
On then.
Guess we'll find out on Friday.
Wonder who will be there.
New graphic, new entrance.
Let's fucking go. But yeah, Saturday, King and Queen of the Ring. Immediately after that show, you will see us recapping the pay-per-view. And then Sunday, 3NT Wrestling on Dershi Radio Live Sunday afternoon. And then Sunday night, the post show for Double or Nothing. So be sure to catch us all week long, baby. And
let's go.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you all next cocking week.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you very much.